determine our current location and, of course, what the objective for the immediate future should be. My name is Irregularities, presenting Political Update this Thursday afternoon as usual. It's always a pleasure to be with you wherever you may be located in this global space. Solutions 93.9 FM is the station. Do stay tuned. I'll be back shortly. Yes, thank you so much for being with us. Well, I have a guest live with me in the studio this afternoon. Of course, we're going to be taking them, each political party that participated in the state elections, and we're going to be, engaging them. I have with me this afternoon a stalwart and leader of the People's Democratic Party, a man who ran for public office. He aspired for the ticket of the party, House of Rep ticket. But of course, the party determined that and said he should wait a bit, that the gentleman that occupies the office presently should continue. Of course, he eventually won. He, of course, is a familiar face in this station. He is Honorable Abayomi Fagbinro. Everybody calls him Bibiri. I welcome you to our studio this afternoon again.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity given to me again.
How does it feel to be on the winning side? Such a resounding, sweeping, emphatic victory by your party, State Assembly and gubernatorial.
It feels so good. We have worked so hard, and I just want to thank all the good people of Oyo State for answering the call for our governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde. It's so sweet, and it feels good to come over here singing and praising and then enjoying the victory song. So it's an honor to serve the good people of Oyo State and to see this come to fruition for the second time.
One of the leaders of the party, specifically the man that chaired the communication strategy publicity committee of the re-election campaign, I saw him do a report in which, before the election, he said he can say that the governor will secure more votes than he did in 2019, and the margin will be wider. I was taken aback that how was that going to happen? But here we are. The governor had a wider margin. This one is about 312,000 margin. And then, of course, he scored about 40-something thousand votes more than he did in 2019. Because, I needed to go and check those details. And I said, in spite of, what seemed to be on ground, there was it is alleged that it was a coalition that brought him in then. That coalition broke down, and then there was schism within the party, and then the issue of endorsement here and there. In spite of that, he won this emphatic sweeping victory, 31 local governments to 2. And of course, the number of votes and the margin. How did that happen?
Well, the governor's antecedents speaks for itself. We have a performing governor. We have a governor that listened to the call and to the cries of the people of Oyo State.
Do pardon me. Before you go on with that, let's quickly take political roundup. I want to sit back and enjoy that.
Right there.
I'll be back.
Thank you so much.
Do stay tuned.
Keep it 93.9. This is the roundup. A former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, has blamed stakeholders and politicians for the majority of the problems facing the country currently. Fayose was speaking early this morning in a monitored television interview, disclosed that there was a lot wrong with Nigeria, adding that nothing had changed in the country since 1979, was especially concerning the just concluded general election.
Most of the things that happened in Lagos happened everywhere. So don't let us single out Lagos, Kano, Kaduna. We were still in same attitude as in 1979. Nothing has changed. Recall when you saw the PDP chairman and the Labour Party chairman sitting down together, what they could not do before the election. They now look for allies to create an impression that the election was rigged. I disagree with them. The way you lay your bed, you sleep on it.
He added that the opposition party, PDP, were the architects of their failure in the concluded presidential elections due to their ill preparation and undermining some figures in the party.
Was the PDP expecting to win that election? The answer is no. We were badly fractured. We were badly fractured. The same set of people that betrayed the party at that time, it was a payback time. Majority of the leaders of the PDP were pregnant inside and had their stomach flat externally.
Former Governor Ayodele Fayose speaking there. Moving on, Justice INEC of the Federal High Court Abuja Division has come under fire as the People's Democratic Party PDP has petitioned the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court accusing ECO of bias and demanding his recusal from all cases related to PDP. The PDP in the petition dated 14th March 2023 addressed to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court and signed by the party's national chairman, Senator Iyocha Ayu, and National Secretary, Senator Samuel Ayau, demanded that all PDP-related currently cases before him be reassigned on account of manifest bias. And finally, the Abia Governor-elect Dr. Alex Oti of the Labour Party LP has assured the citizens that his administration will work on how to develop revenue and economy of the state. Oti, who made this known this morning less than 24 hours after he was declared winner of the Saturday, April 18th governorship polls, assured that his government will pay all old salaries by the past administration before December 2023.
One of the easiest ways to put money into the economy is payment of salaries, allowances, and pensions. By the time you do that, you would have empowered the people that we are being owed before then to participate actively and fully in the economy, so that the economy will start moving in the direction that it's supposed to do. So payment of salaries is priority for me, and I've given myself a deadline. I do not know what the numbers are today, but I do know that a lot of people are being owed. So we're going to pay those salaries before the end of this year.
Recall Otis scored 175,467 votes. Oke Ahiwe of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, polled 88,529, while Eyinaya Nwafo of the Young People's Party, YPP, got 28,972 votes. The LP candidate also won 10 of the 17 local government areas in the state. PDP got 6, while YPP got 1. And that's the roundup.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Yes, thank you so much for staying with us. Solutions 93.9 FM is the station. And of course, the show this Thursday afternoon is Political Update. I do have live in the studio with me, Honorable Abayomi Fagbenro. Everybody calls him Bibiri. Yes, before we went on that break to take the political roundup, I was quoting the figures. Numbers called by His Excellency, about 40,000 more than he did in 2019. And the margin far wider than it was in 2019. And Simpris Dotuila, the chairman of the Strategy and Publicity Committee, predict this. And then 33, of course, 32, one local government out of 33, the two coming from Okeogun that the APC candidate won. And the margin, 3-1, 3-1. Oyo voted APC, Oyo Zone voted APC during the presidential elections. Ogumosho voted APC, at least a large portion of Ogumosho voted APC during the presidential election, and then just that turnaround. I mean, how did the PDP and its candidates, you people, how did you do that?
It's quite very simple. The antecedent of the present administration, I'm referring to our governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, speaks for itself. We have a performing governor for the past almost 4 years that has been doing everything within his power to make sure that the good people of Oyo State actually reap the dividends of democracy. From all the projects that is people-centered to his compassion and empathy for people, even in the lower level. I was talking to somebody just before the program about some of the policies and the things this present administration, this governor actually did. One, during NSERS, what he did to allow people to actually go to work. Because that some of those people, that is the only source of income that they have. A lot of those people, they only make money per day. And if they don't go to their jobs, how will they feed their family? We have a governor that see into the cost of an ordinary people of your state, and most of the policies that he put out there are policies that helps people. We want to talk about all the good things that he has done, but Governor Engineer Seyi Makinde, as we all know, is close to the people of Oyo State, and he has done exceptionally well. So the people of Oyo State just decide, well, how well can we pay this governor back? And we saw that from what just happened this past Saturday at the election.
So that was Oyo people's payback time for the governor?
Absolutely, absolutely. When you have a performing governor, what else can you do? When things is working for you, why do you have to change it?
But let's look at the schism within the parties. APC had their own, that resulted in accord. And then PDP had its own internal schism. I mean, those who thought they were the original PDP, they felt sidelined that the governor, and that is in spite of all the schism within the party. People went away. Quite a number of people left the party. Yes, quite some people too joined the party. And then, towards the last week, well, the last week before the extension, there was this build-up of endorsements here and there, endorsements, by by those who we can call the political gatekeepers. It seemed that did not translate into votes. What is changing?
Well, what is changing is that the power truly belongs to the people. We're talking about gatekeepers, right? Who are the gatekeepers? The gatekeepers should be the people, the good people of your states. And the power is shifting hands too. What just happened this past Saturday is just to let people know that democracy is truly the government of the people, by the people, for the people. That's exactly what happened this past Saturday. It's about the people, it's about the grassroots, it's about going to an ordinary man on the street. And that is what Engineer Seyi Makinde is truly all about.
Are you suggesting that the role INEC played made the difference?
Well, INEC did an awesome job on this previous Saturday as well. For example, for the presidential election, some of the polling units, some of the INEC officials got to their location a little bit late. But this one, the governorship election and the state rep election, majority of them are there before even 7:30. And they're ready to roll at that time. So, and they did very, very well. They were cautious. They did what they have to do. And the security operatives too, they are there on time. So I believe they are even more and well prepared for this governorship election than the previous presidential election.
In fact, let's narrow it down to the Beavers. It is now looking like Beavers is actually the umpire, not even INEC.
Absolutely. And that has played a very important role in this election. It has played a very important role in this election. Now we can say at least we're getting closer to fair and credible elections in Nigeria.
And like we had in Oshun, any issue between the votes count and those are accredited, if it does not tally, then that's a nullification.
Well, there's actually, do you know there's few irregularities in some certain areas. Because as you all know, there's some of our people in PDP, I'm talking about the Senate in PDP, most of the Senate actually went to APC.
The 3D.
The three. So, but there's still a lot of ongoing issues about some irregularities of what transpired in the past presidential election. So that is in the motion right now. So most of those people that are celebrating that they're already there, well, I guess time will tell. Before we need to look into some of the things or discrepancies that happened.
Okay, your candidates may be heading to the tribunal.
Absolutely. And the work is in progress right now.
Which of the districts?
Definitely South.
Okay.
Centurions, and then even some of the federal House of Representatives as well too.
Okay.
But I can significantly talk about Oyo South.
Oyo South
Definitely,
district.
there are some irregularities in some of the things that transpired on the 25th of February in the presidential / the senatorial / federal House of Representative election.
In Oyo State now, Engineer Oluwaseyi Makinde is the only living man that has gotten a mandate a second time. And like he said, which is now Omitutu 2.0,
Absolutely.
he himself said the reward for hard work is more hard work.
Yes, sir.
This time, he's promised additional two pillars. In the Omitutu 1.0, we had security, health, education, and growing the economy. Regarding, and of course, using where your state has comparative advantage, which is agriculture, and using agribusiness. We have not seen much of the agribusiness, coming into fruition and materializing. It is not yet visible. He's now adding solid minerals and tourism.
Yes.
With this expanded portfolio pillars.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at the economy of Oyo State, like I said the last time I came over here, 4 years is not really enough to do, to make a very, very impactful I'm talking about in terms of even projects. There's some few projects that cannot finish in 4 years. For this administration, even to do much better, at least we'll need the next 4 years to build on what we have started. Like we said, 1.0 is accelerated development.
Yeah.
Now, 2.0 is actually adding those two pillars to it and also sustaining some of the things that we've done in the past almost 4 years. It is going to bring more, it's going to actually allow a lot of investors to come to Oyo State and rebuild and also add value to what is going on in our states. As we see now, a lot of people, even in Lagos, a lot of them are moving to Oyo State now. And it's some of the work that this present administration have done to make Oyo State very attractive to tourists and also business people all around the world. I'm a member of the people in the diaspora. I know a lot of people, when they're talking about moving to Nigeria, some of the places, the first three places they actually mention is either, it used to be maybe just Lagos, but now you're actually hearing people talking about, I want to go to Oyo State now, I want to go to Ibadan, I want to go to Oyo State. That means something is working. Our governor is doing a wonderful job, and we even bring much more prosperity to the good people of Oyo State.
In which areas do you envisage, do you hope that, these things will be more visible now?
Well, definitely in the area, I want to see more development and more to increase the budget in the area of education. Agriculture is a big one too. You make mention of agro.
The agro side
of the business. I mean,
that is the money spinner, the value chain.
I tell you, we really, really need to continue to work on this area and add more money into this area and make it attractive, even to the youth, so that they can be a part of this good development that is coming to your state. I'm willing, even myself, to go into this aspect individually, because I know this genuinely we attract a lot of business gurus to come to your state and invest more into our economy.
During these gubernatorial elections, yes, we saw endorsements here and there, and the endorsements seem to have weighed more in favor of the APC candidate. But of course, we also know that even within the APC itself, individuals, political elements, forces, and outside the party, they independently, they didn't come together. They didn't come out openly to say, well, I know, I relate with quite a number of progressives. They did not work for their candidate. How come they not only did not work for their candidate, they worked for your party's candidate?
Absolutely. That's a very good one. I was outside working very hard on Saturday during the governorship election. And I'm one of the leaders in Ibadan Southwest, Ward 12. I'm from Ward 12. I'm actually from an area called Odono, Apata area in Southwest. And I was given an opportunity to work on the progressive area of Odono. I was actually given 46 polling units to manage for that day. And based on history of that particular area, it's always progressive. But on that fateful day, this past Saturday, though we work tirelessly to make sure we delivered for our Governor Engineer Seyi Makinde, but it was the first time in history that the entire 46 polling units in that area goes to Governor Seyi Makinde. First time in history. It's because of his antecedents. It's because he's a performing governor. It's because he knows what he's doing. It's because that he believes in the people of Oyo State, most especially people that the underprivileged and ordinary Nigerians. And that has paved way for him to come back the second time. He did so well. But I know he can do better, because I'm not a politician that's always just pat people on the back. I'll tell you, I know we can always do better. And he always said that too. If there are areas that we need to work on, let's talk about it. Let's share ideas. Let's work with, let's use the strategy that we have to make sure we give the best to the people, good people of Oyo State. So I'm open, and I know for a fact that Omitu 2.0 and this second the next 4 years will bring even much more prosperity for all the good people of Oyo State.
In essence, if sought in one way or the other, he owes all those elements, that individually, underground, in a subtle manner.
You will be surprised that even on that day, we have people that are working for APC that are actually voting for Engineer Seyi Makinde. I saw some that even I knew this person is from APC. And majority of them actually went out of their way and they voted for Engineer Seyi Makinde. So it's not about just PDP alone. People of Oyo State, there's people in Accord, people in other parties, even people in LP. A lot of those people.
Well, LP openly came out.
But some of them still go the other way. But a lot of people, when something is working, why do you have to change it?
Why change it?
We don't want to change it. We know we can do better. We know we're going to do more in this second dispensation. And we know Governor, he loved the people. He have empathy. He have compassion. So I no doubt in my mind that the second time, a lot of people always say, that's the question they ask me anywhere that I go. A lot of those politicians, when they come the second time, they don't do much like the first time. But I can assure all the good people of Oyo State that this governor loves the people and is going to do even much better in the second administration.
Now that his mandate, it is clearly the people's mandate, not a coalition's mandate. Do you think he has a freer hand in steering his administration in terms of appointments and all of that now, rather than owing a debt of gratitude to coalitions and all of that? But doesn't he owe some individuals and forces too?
He holds the good people of Oyo State. And because this task goes to all the people of Oyo State. And I believe Governor Seyi Makinde knows what he's doing. I know that in this next 4 years, everyone is going to enjoy the dividends of democracy. I can assure you that. So he has done it before, and I know he can do it again.
Prior to the elections, we saw a lot of schism nationwide within your party. The G5 emerged, their sing-song, the battle cry was, give us a southern governor. Okay, we cannot get a southern governor. Balance the equity. Balance it up. Give us a chairman. Let us have a sense of belonging. They chose a national candidate who is of northern origin, a national chairman of northern origin, a director general of northern origin. I was actually amazed that a man of Atiku Abubakar's stature, in all ramifications, will behave and conduct himself politically that way. Was that responsible for the failure of your party at the national level?
I think he has that has a lot of role to play in that, because there's an agreement. There's an agreement initially. And then for someone to just come into the party and decide he's going to do things just his own way, I'm a firm believer that you have to put people first. Agreement is an agreement. And when you don't do what you're supposed to do, the results you see is exactly what happened for our party on that level. So I just hope, I don't know what lies in the future for some of these people, but I believe that played a very vital role in how we actually lost at the top. For them not doing what they're supposed to do, because agreement is an agreement. And when you break an agreement, what lies ahead is exactly what transpired. So but I believe this is a lesson learned for the people that are coming behind, that when there's an agreement, when people are yearning for some certain change and they're yearning for the right thing, if you don't listen to them, what comes of you, that's exactly what actually transpired in this past presidential election.
Your candidate, Governor Seyi Makinde, in his role in the G5, it was persistent, it was consistent, and at a point in time, people heard him say, well, National Assembly election, vote PDP. Presidential election, vote equity, vote national unity, and fair play. Which, of course, people interpreted to mean, don't vote for my party's candidate. Vote for, I mean, it was a straightforward thing. I mean, that's not rocket science. And considering the probable consequences, the backlash, and there seemed to be a backlash right after that.
Well, one thing is certain, that Governor Seyi Makinde is a man of integrity. That is one thing I learned from this election, both elections, that when there's an agreement and you did not fulfill that agreement, what comes out of it is exactly what came out of that election. So, saying that, it really did not mention don't vote for Atiku. All he said was we should vote for unity, we should vote for all these qualities that he mentioned, But
that does not reside in your own candidate.
But at the same time, what he's saying is that people should vote their conscience. That people should vote their conscience, and people should vote for those things, those qualities that he mentioned.
It was not expedient politically for his own. He was on the ballot.
Well, at the same time, like I said, we all saw what happened on the 25 and on the 18. Even though the people that genuinely work hard, they saw the result in this election as well. Let me use this as an example. Even the governorship election. How many times did you see some of our opponents outside campaigning?
During the election?
During this past preparation, the campaign time and all that. If you put APC, PDP side by side based on their output, who campaigned the most?
I can tell you for free that Accord worked tirelessly in Okugu. So did APC.
But I'm talking about
Ogbomosho, same thing.
Well, I believe PDP worked more than most of all those parties put together. I'm talking about this because I'm an insider and I know what I'm talking about. Yes, they have some few strategies that they are using, but at the same time, PDP worked, with both of them put together, PDP worked much more than any of these parties put together. I know what I'm talking about because I'm an insider.
I know one of those gubernatorial candidates that actually went to Okiogu twice, and on one particular occasion spent about 2 weeks at a stretch in Okiogu.
Well, let me be honest with you. You may not see everything out there, but there's a lot of grassroots work going on pretty much almost every day at every location by our party. Even some parties that we are mentioning their names right now are actually working for our governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde. So, but we all saw the result. We all saw the result. It's not just about the party. This election is about the good people of Oyo State. So people from most of this party put together voted because they know that Engineer Seyi Makinde is doing what he promised, and they know that if something is working, you don't need to change it.
Now, that brings me to our political party structures.
Okay.
Are we having political parties in the real sense of it, or they are just special purpose vehicles to get to office?
Well,
I'm saying this in view of the party structures we have had previously in this country. First Republic, Second Republic. In the Second Republic, if you went to any UPN state, you saw uniform programs being executed.
Rome was not built in a day. Our democracy is only how many years? So I still also believe that even the parties, there's still a lot of working pieces. But I know with time, we will get there. But there's still a lot of things that need to be in place. But I think we are making progress in Nigeria. A lot of things are changing. A lot of people are voting personalities now.
Individuals,
exactly.
Not
just party. We are seeing the trend now that a lot of things are changing. A time will come in Nigeria, if you can deliver and if you have good antecedents, people will vote for you just based on that and not because of the political party that we're coming from. But now, at least for right now, you have to, sometimes you majorly have to be in those two political party. I'm referring to APC and PDP. That then people believe
the two sides of the same coin.
They always believe that things will work when you are there. But we are getting closer to a time in Nigeria that if you genuinely know what you're doing and you have good antecedent, people will vote for you based on that and not on just with party line.
Now we have the unbiased umpire in the Beavers.
Okay.
And it is looking like votes are counting for real.
Yes, sir.
When votes begin to count and the people out there on the street realize that their one vote counts, what is going to happen to Nigeria's political space?
It's going to get much, much, much better. it's going to get much more better. People is going to believe in this democracy even the more, because they know that they are not in some. Yes, we're right in democracy in Nigeria. There have been elections in the past that people's votes don't count that
Even
much.
the recipient, the president that was elected, said he knew.
Exactly. So we knew. But now we are getting into that phase that people would genuinely can say, my vote actually counts.
What would then happen to the politicians?
Well, politicians need to work. Politicians need to know, they need to have what it takes to lead. Not that somebody will just come from anywhere, or Baba Sokpe, Yasokpe. People that are credible, people that have integrity, people that have good antecedents, those people will be the one actually leading our nation when we get to that. But because now, vote actually counts. People can see, they can read in between the line and know who is who moving forward. Trust me, Nigeria will get there. It may take time, but now at least we know that our vote now, we saw what happened in Lagos State. Our vote counts. And single vote actually counts. And I know people now, they believe they are becoming, a lot of things are becoming new to some of our people. They actually know they are partaker and also stakeholders in this thing we call the Nigerian election.
Somebody told me that when people realize that their votes count, they are probably likely to go and join political parties and start becoming a part of the processes of even choosing the candidates.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. A lot of people have lost interest in our elections, even in our political parties, in some of our system. But now that we are getting to that phase that it seems that vote actually counts, a lot of people will get involved from the grassroots level. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Nigeria has a brighter future. And I know with the help of God and also people of goodwill, I know we're going to get there.
When votes count now and politicians know that to get my vote, I will have to be convinced, can that eventually, in the not too distant future, lead to good governance?
I think that's exactly where we are going. And I mean, based on some of the few places that we've been around the world, I'm talking about the Western world, like I said, your antecedents matters, your qualification matters, where you've been matters, what you do matters, and then the projection matters. But I can't say 100% that that's exactly what is happening here in the neck of the woods. But along the line, and I believe in the future, I believe we will have the best of the best genuinely to lead us in this nation.
You are a resident outside of this country. You came for the primaries, you went back, you're back here. What was the motivation for all of this? On a personal level.
Like I said, this task to fix our nation is just not for the people in Nigeria. I have a group of diasporans we call BBRA, People's Vision Association in the Diaspora. Our main objectives is to make sure that we elect the right people in office and we do our needful to help people in our own little way. I have served in the United States military. I've signed my life to another country to serve them. If I can do that for a country that is not mine, how much more my own country to serve in my own little way to make sure that things get back to what it used to be or even better. The only way to fix this nation is for each individual and all the people of Nigeria to participate in our elections. I'm looking for a day that the people in the diaspora will have the opportunity also to cast their votes. A lot of things needs to change, and we need people of goodwill to come together and transform this nation genuinely. And I'll be honest with you, the government cannot do it alone. That is the reason why people like me as well decide to join this wagon, so that we can leave the hands of the government, so that we can help the elected officials, so that we can help in our little area that we find ourselves. The government cannot get to every corners of every state, of every communities, but you are in that community. You should be someone in that community that is changing things, that is helping people, that is transforming lives, that is fixing problems. We should be solution. We should find solution to some of the problems that we are facing in our local area. So one of the major reasons, the major one that pushed me into this part is because I love to help people and I love to see my nation get transformed positively. That is one of the major reasons why I joined this wagon.
What are you getting back in terms of maybe fulfillment for doing all of this, the commitment, the energy, the resources that you deploy into all of this? What are you getting in return?
Number one, like I said, I contested in 2019 for Federal House of Representatives, tried to represent about the Southwest and Northwest Federal Constituency. I contested in 2022, but we all know exactly. Tried to get the party ticket, but we all know what transpired, and I see myself, by God's grace, contesting again. By God's grace, if we are given the opportunity in 2023. The work has just started. Rome was not built in a day, and consistency is the key. I'm fired up, ready to go, and I know I have what it takes to lead this nation, to lead the state, or to be a senator or federal rep, or serve in any capacity in this country. I've always been a leader. Even the fact of where I was born, what I do, I've always been placed in the leadership position. And I know some of the skills acquired over years, even in the outside world, can be used to help some of our people here locally in Oyo State and in Nigeria as a whole. So I am looking forward to serve in any form or shape in this administration and wherever I find myself. So I'm a universal person, and I know Nigeria is my home, Oyo State is my home, and it's all our responsibility to make sure we transform the state for better. We shouldn't just leave this just for Engineer Seyi Makinde alone. We should lift his hand up and make sure he succeeds in the next 4 years.
If called upon, as he puts his administration together, will you relocate here and take up the job?
Actually, I'm here already. That is one thing a lot of people doesn't know. But majority of my family stays in the U.S., but I live here in Nigeria. I spend more time here than Nigeria, but I have businesses outside of the country. I have businesses here in Nigeria as well, and I have an NGO here in Nigeria. Like I said, I'm a universal person, but trust me, I'm here to serve my people in any form or shape, and also to serve this administration in any form or shape. Wherever they need me, I'm there. And that's exactly what I did in this election that we just concluded. I did the best that I could from my area. We deliver Ward 12, we deliver Southwest, we deliver Northwest, and we deliver Oyo State for our government.
Is the Southwest and Northwest is safe for PDP always?
Absolutely. This is our domain, most especially BBO's domain. And we did it. I just want to thank all the people of Oyo State in Northwest, Southwest, in every area, Odono, Akpata, every one of those people, all the PDP candidates, they did an exceptional job during this election. From all the observers to the canvassers, to the agents and all the party leaders, everyone was out there working tirelessly that day. And I give kudos to all the good people of Oyo State for saying they're going to do this, and that's exactly what they did. I really give kudos to the people of Oyo State.
These things cost money.
Absolutely. Well, I have to spend the money. If the money didn't go to NGO, the more money will go. But let me be honest with you. Something is working, and then when something is working, what better way to make that thing even work better if not invest in? If you don't invest in that thing, what I did was invest in what I know is good. Engineer Seyi Makinde is a good market. He's doing good. And then what a better way to support this administration than to put our own hand money to make sure he gets back the second time. We want the people of Oyo State to continue to enjoy the dividend of democracy. And we want them to do good. So we want them to get all this, the dividends. And that's one of the reasons why we invested. We did everything that we need to do. And I know that we're all going to reap what we sow. It's law of karma. If you sow good to people, you will get good. And if you sow the other parts too, you will get the other part. So in terms of money, like I always say in Yoruba, I'm all about the people. I'm all about the underprivileged. I'm all about helping our people. I'm all about making sure that we put food on the table of all people in Nigeria and all the good people of your state. And that's exactly what we are doing.
What is the word out there on the streets about this new 4-year mandate for Engineer Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State?
Did you see what happened after the election on Saturday? Don't you see the joy in people's faces? Don't you see? Go to all beer parlors that Sunday. I mean, the Saturday evening and Saturday and even Monday, how people are rejoicing. Even people from other parties, you can see the joy, the excitement in their faces. So you can even feel it anywhere that you go, that people love this governor and they want him. So, and you can still see, it's still out there. Even myself, I have to quickly run away for 2 days because I rest a little bit, because I can't even rest at home. Even some people thought I'm the one contesting, the way they are congratulating us for this election. So it felt good, and it felt good that we did something and the good people of Oyo State made it happen. I mean, that feeling, I can't even explain that feeling, but it still feels so good. And I know, even though it felt so good, it's just telling us that people believe in us and they want us to even work harder in this second dispensation.
Are you guys rolling up your sleeves yet?
We're fired up, ready to go.
Ready to go?
Fired up.
Because virtually everywhere, I've heard people say, the problem is that the moment they get a second term, they just do whatever they like and go away.
Engineer Seyi Makinde is not like that. He's working now.
You are sharing the
Oh, come on now. This is somebody I've seen. This is somebody I've met. This is somebody I've talked to. This is somebody I've seen his eye. This is somebody I've seen his antecedent. This is somebody I see some of the things he does every day. He's working hard. Even now, at this present moment, he's supposed to be resting right now. But guess what? He continues to work for the good people of Oyo State. That is what he's sworn to do. And that's exactly what he continues to do.
So what should we hold him by?
Hold him by his word. What he says he's going to do, I can assure you he's going to do it.
Because the people are out there watching and waiting.
Trust me, Engineer Seyi Makinde is the chosen one.
And I'm sure he will aspire to higher levels.
Trust
so,
I
and
think,
he still needs the people. Let that be noted. Even after a second, he still needs the people.
I can vividly tell you that in the future, we might have the president of Nigeria in our governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, one day. I see that in his path. If it's not even if, it's a matter of time. We will see what transpired, because I know the second term will bring a lot of prosperity to your state, and that will catapult him to that position. I believe he vividly can be the president of this great nation.
All right, as we wrap this up, the government does its own side. Speak out to the people of Oyo State there. What role are they to play? And it has to be a synergy. They must have a role to play. It's not just to sit. So what will be the role of the people of Oyo State in ensuring that this prosperity, as you say, goes?
I just want to wish all the good people of Oyo State to make sure we are all in sync, and then like we rub shoulders together, we rub minds together, and we work, we respect each other, we love each other, and then that we do not we don't want to leave anyone out. We want to make sure this is a government that we all can call our own, irrespective of which party you belong to, whether you are APC, Accord, LP, whichever party that you belong to. It's time. Election is over now. Let's all of us come together. Let's all of us work in sync with this administration. Let all of us make sure that we show love to our fellow human beings so that the prosperity that we've been waiting for will come to us, and then we'll be able to leave something good for our children and our children's children to come.
Well, I've been in conversation the past 1 hour thereabout with the leader of the People's Democratic Party, Honorable Abayomi Fagbenro. Everybody calls him Bibiri. Thank you so much for joining us, and I do wish you, your party, and the governor of Oyo State, well, they say the reward for hard work is more hard work. And we pray that that prosperity will be visible all over.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, our listeners and viewers, wherever you may be, thank you so much for joining us. It's been Ayodeji Ajishokwe presenting Political Update this Thursday afternoon, and Favor Oloruntola producing me. God bless you all. God bless our union. Bye for now.